I mean, I get all that, but me personally, I just never understood when nobody said that. How can you love somebody else's kid like your own? Now I know a whole bunch of people can easily tell me, easy, just love them unconditional, accept them, be patient with them, take time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I hear that. But if my experience done allowed me to see differently, then that's what I'm gonna run with. It's nothing that nobody else can tell me or show me that can show me differently. That's gonna make me feel otherwise, because I've had that experience. I've had that experience with women who had kids when I had no kids. I had that experience with women who had kids after I had my kid. And it's the same thing. So I came to the conclusion that most of the time, when people be like, oh, I'ma love your kids like they my own, or they tell other people, yeah, I love their kids like they my own, in reality, what you're really saying is you love that kid just as much as you love that kid's mother or father. Otherwise, you just stunting and fronting and putting on to make the mother or the father of the kid feel like you really love their kid. But let me ask you a question. If you and that kid's parent get into it for whatever, to the point where it's real bad, and they feel like they want to break it off with you, and when they break it off with you, they break off the connection between you and their child, and it affects you, and they show you that they don't care, how you gonna feel then? How is that gonna be like your own child? Yeah, you might not be on no child support, you may not be on no visitation, but you don't have no access to this kid now. It don't matter how many shoes you bought. It don't matter how many clothes you bought, how many times you took them to school, how many times you fed them, how many times you got their hair done or got a haircut. No matter how many times you played with them, no matter how many times you came through for them when their own father did not. And you think that mother or that father gonna care when they feel like they done what you know? You think that mother or that father gonna care when that child miss you and start asking about you or cry over you? Or when they see their parent get with somebody else and they don't like them like that and they start bringing up your name? No. You gonna get cussed out, whooped, told to shut your mouth or something. That's what's gonna happen to the kid. And you're gonna still be sitting there feeling like, damn, that's fucked up. Or feeling like somebody owe you a further explanation or something because something didn't go in your favor that you felt like should have went that way because you was being a good stepmom or stepdad. And it got you nowhere. See, here's what I want everybody to understand. I used to feel like that too at one point before I had my own kid. But when I got my own kid, I realized you can't think like that and feel like that. You have to be honest with yourself. See, you try to play stepdaddy when you don't have your own kid. Or if you do have your own kid, you try to love somebody else's kid like you love your own until you start seeing the kids getting jealous of each other. Until you start seeing them mistreat your kid. You get what I'm saying? Or until you start seeing the person that you dealing with choosing and picking their kid's side or doing your kid some kind of wrong way to make you feel some type of way. Then all that love your kid like mine creates a problem because now it's a competition thing. Now it's an ego. Now it's a matching energy type thing that don't need to be there. And then on the other hand, when you have a kid of your own, you can't compare nobody else's kid to seeing your own physical look in your own kid. You can't compare how another kid love you, hug you and all that versus the very unconditional, unmatchable, natural love that you get from your kid that comes naturally from you. The way your kid look at you and y'all catch eye contact will always be different and more pure and potent than how it would be with somebody else's kid. You don't have to try to ignore seeing the other kid's daddy in them when you look at them because you know it's not your kid. You can look directly at your kid and be like, that's me all day. And get a howl for that alone. The levels of appreciation sometimes are different. Not always, because some step kids do really love their stepmamas and stepdaddies. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But I'm speaking overall and in general and based on experience. The level of appreciation, just the fact that they pop up or wake up, hey daddy, come through the door, daddy, like, bruh, it's different than Ricky. It's like, yeah, cool, y'all happy to see me, but it's not the same. It just don't hit the same. The connection, like, it's just I don't know how to explain it, man. You can spoil somebody else's kid all day and they can still be ungrateful. You can spoil somebody's kid all day and how can I say this? You can spoil somebody's kid and they can either be disrespectful, ungrateful, or they can be grateful without showing excitement or without showing you how happy they is and telling you that they really appreciate it. Because, they just look at you like you the one that their mama or their daddy go with and they like, thank you, and go on about their business. But y'all never have a connection. Like, you give them money for lunch, money to go to the school dance, whatever. Like, you always making sure they straight, don't upgrade them, and some kids still act like it's nothing. But when it come down to your own kid, it's different unless you got one of them rebellious kids that you don't click with and you feel like you a stepmom and stepdad and they act like they your stepkid. I know people in those situations as well. But even though we can reach and go in this direction or that direction, at the end of the day, all of the extra stuff is not what I'm talking about. My main point is that, to me, based on my experience and what I've seen, you can't love nobody else's kid like your own. Unless that kid unless you've been in that kid life since the day it was born, or unless that kid ain't never ever met their daddy or seen their daddy and they really have a genuine unconditional love for you, look up to you and admire you, and their mom or their dad is in love with you and y'all got a real solid bond to the point where you're gonna be in this kid life for the rest of their life. Stuff like that is different because it's structured up. You get what I'm saying? It's balance, it's union, it's a real family tie. I ain't talking about that because most situations these days are toxic. Most situations are unbalanced and one-sided and all that other stuff. So it's gonna be kind of hard to love somebody else's kid like you love your own, especially if you really have your own. People who don't have kids, they can't say that, because I promise you, when you get your own kid and have your own experience with your own kid, you're not gonna feel like that about dating strangers and being around their kids just because you love them. All you can do is love a kid just as much as you love their mother or their father.